Hello Hanji Kidda, what's up people? Back with another video, and today we're previewing Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Ipswich Town. Before we get into anything though, you know we got to do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes for all your care needs in the Black Country and Birmingham area. Massive shout outs to Mark Darcy for all your formal menswear needs. And of course to Desi Ballers, highlighting all South Asians at all levels in the beautiful game. I'll put their details in the description, so make sure you check them out. And if you ain't already, or if you're brand new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button and turn the notifications on. We're trying to grow this channel. We've now been running just over a year. The first vlog was back in December last year against Middlesbrough away. Starboy Amari and Mr. Connor Chaplin, I think it was Chaplin that day, yeah, on the score sheet that day. And now we've evolved, we've hit over the 1K. But we want to hit not 2K, not 3K, not 4K. Like Looney said, we want 5 on it. Let's try and hit 5K subscribers by the end of the season. But yeah, man, let's get to it then. So on Saturday, we're away at Molineux. Behind Portman Road, Molineux is probably the stadium I've been to the most. For those that don't know, yes, I was born in Ipswich, but I moved up to Wolverhampton in '99. Grew up very much in Wolverhampton, very much a Black Country lad, hence Black Country Tractor Boy, hence me calling Ashton a yo-yo, because he's from West Brom, and Wolverhampton and West Brom folk, we don't like each other, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, we have lots of banter with the chairman about that. But yeah, it's a club that naturally was on my doorstep a lot. Used to see you know, how they progressed. Never actually sat in the away stand. So all the times I've watched Ipswich play, I've always been in the home stand, which has been frustrating at times. You know, trying to, I think a couple of times I got kicked out when we celebrated some goals. Yeah, twice actually. But yeah, this will be the first time I'm actually sitting in the away end. First time actually, big up Papa Biz. He's going to be at the game, obviously with my uncle, but they're going to be in the Wolves section. This will be the first time that my dad is going to be seeing Ipswich play since I want to say, it would have either been our relegation season when we played Derby at home, and I remember sitting in the North Stand, that was all new. Or would it have been, no actually, it would have been Man United away when we lost 2-0. So this will be the first time my dad's seeing Ipswich play, so big up Papa Biz. Hopefully he can come away from that game realising how good we are and what a great team Ipswich are. But yeah, so, and then over the years, like I said, it's either been my uncle and family that have got us tickets. And then from about 03-04 till about 08-09 season, them times, big up Matt Murray. Wicked guy, got to know him, and he used to sort me out some tickets as well. So I always used to ask for tickets for the Ipswich one. Obviously that would be, at them times you were sitting by the tunnel really, and then afterwards you were sitting in like the middle tier or something by the directors area. And then yeah, big up my cousin and the legend that is Danny Bart. Obviously there were, and I'll come to that in a bit, there were them trolls that we had before, but the reason, obviously, we have that Danny Bart top is because that's family, and to see what he's done in terms of being, you know, I remember the sacrifices this kid made as a youngster from the family events, and his dad was always taking him from, you know, they used to live in Dudley at that time, all the way to Wolverhampton every other day for training. And then he broke through, you know, he was the academy captain at the time, went out on loan, actually went to Col U on loan, and Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. Went back to Wolves, broke in at Wolves, captained Wolves as well from League One to the Championship and to the Premier League as well. And recently he just made his 500th, I think it was career, I don't think it was a league, it might have been career appearance, it might have been league, but he made his 500th appearance as well for all clubs or whatever. So what a feat for Danny. But yeah, man, that's family. That's the reason I was wearing that top. And for the trolls, here's the top again. It should appear somewhere there. But yeah, man, big up DB6. But yeah, he used to sort out me some tickets as well from like, when did he come in? About 12, 13 till about 17, 18, maybe them times. So this is the first time I'm actually buying my ticket at Molineux, and the first time I'm actually going to be sitting in the away stand. So I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, big up the fam. You know, my uncle did offer me the opportunity to sit in the home end in the corporate side, but can't be doing that, man. Do you know what I mean? I'll end up getting my uncle banned. Wolves away, and obviously at home, but Wolves away was a fixture for me personally. I'm looking forward to, man, and I can't wait for it. And I'm hoping we get the bragging rights tomorrow, because head to head we have edged it. So I can't remember all this off the top of my head, so I'm gonna have to read from the sheet here. We've got 32 wins. There's been 25 draws, and they've got 29 wins. So like I said, we have just edged that head to head. But the last time we actually played each other, you know what happened? Mr. Jack Taylor, Amari Hutchinson, and Freddie Ladapo on the score sheet after 2-0 down. So I remember last year sitting in the hotel at night watching it on the tablet, because obviously we was away in Dubai. Obviously it was a cup competition, and you know, some of the Wolves fans would be like, yeah, well, you know, it's our second team, this, that and the other. But listen, we were 2-0 down, and then we beat them 3-2. So that was a nice win. I still remind my uncle and my cousin about that to this day. And in fact, I'm going to send them a WhatsApp after this just to remind them. But yeah, man, you know, we've got that recent form. But league-wise, I'm again reading from the sheet here because, too much info. So league-wise, in the last 7 league games, Wolves have been unbeaten against us. They've had 2 wins and there's been 5 draws. So we ain't been too tough in the league. And last time we played them in the top flight, you got to go back to the 80s. But we did win. So we won the last game, which was in 1984, was it? Yeah, April 1984, a 3-0 away win at Molineux. And then obviously Saturday is going to be the first time that we're going to be playing Wolves in the Premier League. So a lot of those head-to-heads, you know, certainly all the head-to-heads I saw when I was growing up have always been in the old Division 1 or Championship, as we would call it now, or whatever. So, you know, to now see Wolves and Ipswich playing each other in the Premier League, it feels a bit nice, man. I'm happy to see it, and it feels a bit special. So, you know, I am going to enjoy the game. Couple of other stats in terms of head-to-head then. So last time we played each other in the league was on 27th of Jan 2018. We lost 1-0 at home to them. Last time we beat them at home, you got to go back to 2014. So 10 years ago, November 2014, Murphy got a brace. A certain Mr. Lee Evans started for Wolves that day, but it did finish 2-1 to Town. And here's a little fun fact for you. What is the link between former Premier League and Champions League winner Jorginho Wijnaldum and that Wolves starting 11 that day? Let me know in the comments. So then the last 10 league meetings, again, Wolves have edged it. There's been 5 draws, 2 wins for us and 3 wins for Wolves. So when you're looking at the recent form, and again, we haven't played each other much, taking that League Cup win away last season, obviously that was in the Kebab Cup, taking that away, the recent stuff, Wolves have always kind of edged it. So, you know, and again, just thinking back to the games that I've been to as well, there wasn't many wins that we've had at Molineux. So in terms of player connections, there has been quite a few over the years. So I made a quick few notes in terms of who I can remember. So Steve Sedgley, that always used to make me laugh because there's a place just outside Wolverhampton called Sedgley. And then you had obviously his name is Steve Sedgley, who played for Wolves and Ipswich. Mark Venus, obviously, you know, legend for us, played for Wolves as well. Richard Stearman did well for both clubs. You know, it was a solid for Town, really good for Wolves, but solid for us. Clack, big up Frank Nublé. It was in the team at the time, and I remember Wolves playing Chelsea away in the old Kebab Cup or whatever it was called then. This is when Torres played for them and all the rest of it. But Danny was playing and he got us some tickets. So we went down there, and obviously Frank I think he was coming into the team as well. And he come off the bench and he was cutting up people left, right, centre, man. He looked really good that day. It's my earliest memory of Clack, Mr. Frank Nublé. Mark Kennedy, really good servant for Wolves, played for us as well, did a good job. Jamie Clapham, what a play he was for us. He obviously played for Wolves. I don't know if he was that great for them, to be honest. I can't remember. Jermaine Wright, what a play he was for us. Obviously he played for Wolves as well. A few other players. So I guess honourable mentions. Stephen Hunt, did well for us. I think that Charlton game we all think about. Ebanks Blake come and did a bit of a job for us on loan, but was really good for Wolves. That was probably his best time of his career. Lee Evans, obviously what a servant he was for both clubs. Got us promotion. I think he won League One promotion with Wolves as well. So with both clubs, he got promoted from League One, and obviously with us, he got promoted from the Championship. I don't know if he was at Wolves when they got promoted to the Prem. I don't know if he was on that Nuno team. Can't remember. But yeah, what a player. He was, can't remember, where did I see he was at recently? I can't remember where he's at now. And then for me, probably the player that I would say was, really outstanding for both, both at Wolves, he was quality, and Ipswich, was Christoph Berra. Real solid player for us. Same at Wolves as well, from what I can remember. But yeah, he's probably the one that I would say out of everyone, out of all the players that have played for both clubs, he's probably been, I don't know if you want to say most successful or whatever for both teams. I don't know if Town fans or Wolves fans, if you're watching this and I've missed someone and you think they did better than Berra did at both clubs, let me know. Put it in the comments. So if Saturday finished at 87 minutes, I'd be on this video today, or podcast if you're listening to it on Spotify, but I'd be here today saying to you, yeah man, I feel confident, we're going to take 3 points. But the game ain't played till 87 minutes, and as we've seen throughout this season, I'm not here to blame people because, we picked apart all of that in the match review, and if you haven't seen that, that's still on YouTube, so go check that out. But there were little moments that then, a couple of single moments that have then cost us the game. And we now going up against Wolves, I hate to say it, a relegation rival. That's what it is, let's be real. We're both fighting it. But we're going up against a relegation rival looking to take maximum points. Now, the issue is we've played the likes of Southampton, Leicester, Everton, and come up short each time. Yes, I know Southampton and Leicester, we got a draw. Both games really we should have won. Again, little moments cost us. So we're looking at, and the Everton game, we were completely crap, weren't we? So then looking at how Wolves have done, you think, okay, maybe there's some hope as well. And Wolves have had some, bad form as well. Their last 5 games, they've won 2 and lost 3. They're coming off the back of 3 defeats. Is it 3 defeats? They lost, it's 3 defeats. And then last time they were out at Molineux, they lost 4-2 at home to Bournemouth. Obviously, we lost 2-1 at home to Bournemouth. So, whilst it wasn't 4 goals that were conceded, still, a loss is a loss, right? So then Wolves' home form is not as good as their away form. And to be honest, both form ain't really good. Similar to us. So their home form, they've played 7 games and picked up 4 points, which equates to 0.57 points per game. Their away form, they've played 8 games and picked up 5 points, equating to 0.63 points per game. So slightly better away, but not really, nothing to pull up trees. But then again, ours ain't much better either. I don't even want to read that out, but yeah. So when I was looking at this as well, I'm thinking, well, why is it that, at Molineux, which since Wolves have been promoted to the Premier League, that had become a bit of a fortress. Why is it now that it wasn't a fortress, and why is it that there's issues? And obviously got a lot of friends and family that are Wolves fans, so I've been speaking to them throughout the season. They're in a bit of a toxic place as a club between their ownership group and obviously the fans. They hiked season ticket prices up massively. Hasn't really been a lot of investment. Obviously got rid of, when Nuno went, all their kind of key players went. You think about Ruben Neves, what a player he was. Obviously they got rid of him. I know they've got that, is it Lamina, whatever, their new captain. He's a bit more defensively sounded, or it seems that way anyway. But then at home, they seem to switch the formation. It's like let's play a 4-2-3-1 at home, and then a 3-4-2-1 away. But the away formation, where it kind of, although it's a 3-4-2-1, it then becomes a 5 when they defend. They then, hit teams on the counter, have the long balls. That looked like it was a tried and tested formula. But then, was it the Bournemouth game? I know it was 3 penalties, but I have to be honest with you, they looked poor. Like, they don't look as defensively sound at home. So for me, I'm looking at it like, okay, if we play the right 4, we can get in behind and we can get a goal or 2. And we need to get 2. Because as I said in my match review, we're not the team to win 1-0. We can't keep clean sheets. Do you know what I mean? So if we are going to get wins, it has to be 2 goals minimum. Wolves, no disrespect, looking at how they're set up and looking at what they'll do, I think we can get 2 goals. For me, it's just about, do we keep the concentration and have we got the right kind of attitude and ability, really, to not make those mistakes and to keep the concentration for 90, 95, 100 minutes or however long it will be. So in terms of team lineups then, I am expecting Wolves to line up similar to what they did against Bournemouth at home. Again, that was a 4-2-3-1. There would be obviously a change because João Gomez, who started that game, is now out suspended. He picked up his 5th yellow against West Ham earlier in the week. So for me, I think we'd see, I know Jose Sa was out injured, but there are rumours that he'll be back. So Sa in goal. I think Semedo, obviously, as the right back. Dawson, who's a player that's been a bit of a good signing for him as well. I think he played for West Brom as well, so that's quite interesting to see how he's been received by Wolves fans. Totti Gomez, who I actually hope is playing because I think Amari will get the best of him. And then Aït-Nouri on the left, and he's an absolute quality player. We talk about quality left backs. Him and Leif Davis on the pitch together, that's going to be quite a good game, obviously on opposite sides of the pitch. In that midfield, I'll be expecting to see Andre there, and then obviously their captain Lamina. We got into a bit of a tussle with Bowen at full time against West Ham. Not really sure what happened, but they were shaking hands. Then it was like, remember Kurt Angle in WWF when he used to just like slam a man? It was almost like that, but yeah, not sure what happened. They've got that Bellegarde, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He plays out on the right. Rodrigo Gomez, who plays out on the left. Is it Jorgen Strand Larsen, who plays up front, and obviously in the number 10 role, I have that Cunha. Fun fact: after we beat Wolves in the cup, a couple of weeks later, it was my sister's birthday. We went out for food in Wolverhampton, and we ended up being at the same restaurant that Cunha was at. Ended up speaking to him, taking a picture. Here's a picture of me and Cunha. And my dad, to this day, still takes credit for Cunha's goal-scoring form because he wasn't doing too well at the beginning of the season last year. And then their next game was Man City. And then obviously they beat Man City. And I think Cunha went on a bit of a goal-scoring run. But yeah, fun fact there. And he's a quality player. When we talk about standout players in that Wolves team, Cunha, for me, I'd be very surprised if he's at Wolves next season. He just had everything. He finds pockets of spaces. He's got the pace and he's got a wicked shot on him. Really, really good player. We've got to make sure he doesn't find any space and shut him down. Aït-Nouri. When we talk about fullbacks getting forward and we think about Leif Davis, this is another quality left back. Gets up and down that wing really well. And does the defensive side well, from what I can remember. I'm sure there'll be Wolves fans in the comments telling me, no, he can't defend or whatever. I don't know. From what I've seen, he looked like he can defend. So obviously them two. Lamina, their captain, obviously, he's a bit more defensively minded, very much like Sammy. So that'll be a really interesting battle to see how them two go up against each other. And him, like Sammy, I think it is. Let me just double check this. But I'm pretty sure that Lamina, yeah. So Aït-Nouri, Totti Gomez and Lamina, they're all on 4 yellows. And we've obviously got Delap and Morsey who are on 4 yellows as well. So there's quite a few players that are walking that tightrope. But it's going to be a battle. Both teams are fighting for it. Both teams need something. So that's how I think Wolves are going to line up. For us, I think, again, we'll go for a 4-2-3-1. I know, yes, Murich's moment of madness. We move on from there, but I think Murich is going to keep... I can't see Murich being dropped. So Murich in goal, Leif Davis left back, keep Big Cam Burgess left centre back, next to him Dara O'Shea and Ben Johnson right back. Midfield, I think just because he come off the bench, so it showed that maybe he's ready and should be ready for Saturday. Jens Kajust, and obviously next to the skipper, Mr. Sammy Morsey. And then again, exactly the same as what we played against Bournemouth. So I'd have Sammy Schmodics out on the left, Connor Chaplin in the 10, Starboy Amari out wide on the right, and Liam Delap up top. So that's my predicted 11, if you like. The key for us is going to be to frustrate them and shut them down. And the longer it gets 0-0, I think that Molineux crowd is going to start turning. So, if we can start doing that, and as Town fans, let's make sure we sing loud. Let's back the boys, let them know that Ipswich Town are in town. Yeah, well, in City. They're in the City now, aren't they, Wolves? Millennium City, fun fact, Wolves are named the Millennium City. I remember that being a big deal when I used to live there. Express and Star had a big thing written all up on it. But yeah, I think it's one of those that neither team can really go for a draw. Both teams need to win. And if we're losing 1-0 come 90 minutes or it's 0-0 or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised to see Muric go up for the corner like he did against Forest a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, it will be interesting. It's going to be a tough game. And for me, like I said, it's an important game because I need bragging rights because I've got to see my uncle and my cousins after the game. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. And obviously the way Wolves play, they do leave space behind. And I was reading a stat earlier, and Wolves I think it's the most in the league. They've conceded 15 goals from set pieces, excluding penalties, which is the most in the league. And the only time they conceded that more than that, which was 18 goals, was the 2 seasons they got relegated. For us, Town, if we lose on Saturday, that'll be the first time that we've lost 4 games in a row since March 2020. Is Lambert still under contract, actually, isn't he? Thinking of that far away because it was Lambert era. He'd still be bloody under contract now. Another brilliant Marcus Evans decision, eh? But it's going to be a tough game. Both teams can't afford to lose. Like I said, I think I would expect us to, we've got to go attack them. And I think we've got enough there to frustrate them. I don't know if I see it in us to get more than 1 goal. So I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So the man in the middle on Saturday is Mr. Simon Hooper. Simon Hooper has refereed Ipswich Town on a total of 14 times. Those games, there were 6 wins, 2 draws and 6 losses. The last time he refed us, I don't know if people may remember that game. It's a game that happened back in, on the 4th of May at home against Huddersfield this year. Won 2-0, got a pitch invasion, gave Sammy the Palestine flag, celebrated promotion, kicked ball with my friend, with Big Up Castro, scoring a curler after, and celebrated with the players in the players' lounge after. Remember that game? That was cool, wasn't it? But yeah, last time he refed us was the last game of the Championship last season when we were confirmed promoted to the Premier League. So maybe it's a nice little omen. For Wolves, he's refereed Wolves 25 times. There's been 11 wins for Wolves, 10 losses and 4 draws. The last time he refed Wolves was earlier this season against Forest away, which finished in a 1-1 draw. And he has actually refed this fixture once before. He's refed Ipswich v Wolves, so at Portman Road. That was in January 2018, and as I said earlier, we lost that 1-0. So, hopefully like in 2018, Simon Hooper sees the away team win on Saturday. So in terms of controversy, there has been some controversies with Simon Hooper. So Man United v Wolves in August 2023. He didn't see the penalty or the foul or whatever we call it where Onana Kalajic, I can't pronounce his name. But I remember watching it as well. And I think we all saw it because it was in the papers way after as well. But Onana just clattered into him. It was a foul. It was a penalty. He didn't spot it. He was the on-field ref. No penalty. Game finished, I think, 1-0 to United, and Wolves obviously got nothing that day. And then this season, Everton v Brighton, there was a penalty awarded to Everton, I think, on Calvert-Lewin. He then overruled it when he went to go look at the monitor, although people could see that there wasn't anything on the monitor, like the monitor was blank. You know, like it's probably like, remember back in the day, you used to have the DVD thing and it would just go like bounce around, like the DVD logo. It was probably like that, but yeah, there was nothing on there. Although PGMOL come out of a story after that. Sorry, not a story. They come out of a statement. They don't make up stories. They come out of a statement after saying there was a secondary monitor that he was looking at, which no one could see. So yeah, apparently there's a secondary monitor that only referees can see. Didn't know that, you know. So yeah, a little bit of controversy and obviously a little bit against Wolves. That kind of makes me a bit worried as well because, you know, is that going to play on his mind? Is he going to then award something to Wolves? Maybe that could have been a 50-50. We'll see. But I'm just hoping that, you know, he has a controversy-free game and, you know, we can celebrate come 5 o'clock with some orange chips. If you're going up to Wolverhampton tomorrow, make sure you get yourself some orange chips. I can't believe... When I moved to Coventry and they didn't do it here, I was shocked. Like, I thought it was a thing everywhere. But yeah, get yourself some orange chips. But yeah, man, I want to say I'm feeling confident, but it's this football, man. I think, you know, I'm confident we're going to put in a good performance. And the longer, you know, it stays 0-0, the more it's going to, that crowd will hopefully turn. But as we've seen, man, we have these moments, these not just the Muric moments, but we have these moments where we make mistakes. And I don't feel confident that we're going to score more than one goal. So like I said, 1-1 draw, but fully looking forward to it. Looking forward to going to the game with my old man. Like I said, it's the first time I'm going to see an Ipswich game with him in like 22 years. It would, yeah, 22 years. Last time we was in the Prem against United. I need to, at some point this season, get him down to Portman Road in the Ipswich section as well. But yeah, man, like I said, excited, looking forward to it. And I'll see you all Saturday. Catch you later, peeps.